Hi. Over the last few videos, I've been speaking about elements of air, water, and earth. If you haven't seen them, feel free to go to my Facebook page or the YouTube channel that this particular video is on, and you can see it there. So today we're talking about fire, the fourth element. So when we were talking about air, we were talking about matter that is gas. When we were talking about water, we were talking about matter that has three different states: solid as an ice cube, liquid as the water we drink, most of the water that we think of, and also water as a gas, as steam. And then there's earth, and earth is a solid. So today we talk about water, we talk about fire. And so I actually had to look up, what is fire? Is it a gas? And so according to Wikipedia and others, it is like a mixture of gases, but that it is a process by which all these things are put together, heated up, changed, and so these flames also create another gas, hydrogen dioxide. It makes steam, uses up oxygen, and makes carbon dioxide, which is interesting because that's what humans do. And creates steam, and I believe there is something else. I might find it in a little bit. But fire's a change maker. I mean, that's what its real power is, if you think about it. It can not only change things from one state to another, like as I just talked about with water, but also if you took a stick of wood and you burned it, it would change that from one solid wood to another solid ash, but also creates gas, the carbon dioxide. Well, fire is also a purifier. You think about how it can change water that isn't good for consumption, human consumption, or even animal consumption. If you boil it, you purify it, and it makes it into, a different water that's better for us. And isn't that interesting? That the way it makes it better is by raising its temperature, expanding the molecules or the atoms within it. So some things to think about there. So fire makes us comfortable. Okay, so here I am. I'm sitting in the sun, and oh, it's a glorious day, isn't it? It warms my skin. It actually makes me more healthy as long as I don't stay in too much. Helps me create vitamin D. Sun is quite good for us. Sun also, oops, sorry about that. It warms us, or not sun, but fire in the fireplace. We use fire for so many things. We cook our food to make it edible, or to make it taste better. Fire, it changes things. So it can also change not just things, but it can change, say, moods. So you light a candle. I happen to have one right here. So I light this candle, and I do that, okay, to maybe ask the divine to be here with us. But a lot of people light candles to change the mood. to make it more romantic. Things like that. Our greatest source of energy and of fire is the sun. Now, the sun is also a connector. Besides being a healer, it is a connector. This source of fire connects you and me. So every single day, all over the earth, we have daylight. That daylight comes from the sun. The sun reaches every person on earth. The sun reaches every plant. The sun reaches the animal kingdom. The sun is so important, and it unifies us. We're going to go a little bit deeper here, and that is, what is matter made of? Okay, whether it's solid, liquid, gas, whatever it is. What is it made of? Let's start with you and me. We're made up of cells, and these cells are mostly made of water. And we talked about that a little bit. We can go deeper. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Okay, so each molecule of water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. And if you were to look at a single oxygen atom, so we're really, really small in here, what's it made of? Particles of energy and space, as are all atoms. All atoms are particles of energy and space. So things like you and me, or this candle, the trees behind me, okay? Everything actually is all made up of particles of energy and space, just organized in different ways. And so kind of this, what we realize is the space between, say, my clothing and my body, they're right next to each other, my body and my clothing right next to each other, and they're just particles in space. So this notion that this clothing is separate from my body, that I am separate from you, and that I am separate from the air that I breathe and the water that I drink, and separate from the trees and everything that is an illusion. Because when we come down to all of it, all of this planet and beyond is particles of energy and space. And isn't that cool that we are all one? We are one. So one more time. We are one.